Hi, welcome to our end of winter, beginning of spring series. This is going to be so much fun. I have my very dear friend Nancy visiting. Well, she's not visiting. She lives at the end of my driveway. She's our neighbor and has been a very dear friend for years. And she's brought, I'm really excited because it's a new recipe that I haven't tried and my kids haven't tried, but she says will blow their socks off. It's got fennel, garlic, onion, shallot, olive, citrus. It's got everything you would want in a chicken dish. So, Nancy, thank you for coming.
And sure, thanks for having me. Yes, well, this is kind of a recipe that's a variation of a couple of different ones that I've done in the past. And what I love about this recipe is the fennel, the combination of kind of the pungent, kind of salty flavor of the olives.
Right.
And the fennel gives it that,
I love anything with fennel.
Yeah, once you cook it or roast it, it's got this nice, it's a little bit tart.
Aromatic.
It's just got this nice sweet flavor. And then you've got the citrus. And actually, when this chicken dish is done, you can eat the rinds. That's how soft, the whole thing.
Wow.
And you've got some fennel seeds in there, which are amazing. I put fennel seeds in a lot of my soups. And you've got a little bit of shallots and garlic, and then we'll put some herbs in there.
Oh, and you've got some peppers
these are Calabrian chilies.
Well, I like the Calabrian. I was about to say Calabrian.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I had to look it up.
Calabrian.
But they're really nice because they're kind of a sweet, smoky flavor, but they're hot.
Okay.
So just a warning there.
Just a warning there. Okay, so tell us what we've got so people know how many chicken thighs, because you use chicken thighs because they're a little more moist, correct?
I do, yeah. I used to always, when I cooked chicken, I always used breasts. And these are so nice and tender when you cook them. And the white wine will help too. It'll help seal in that moistness. But yeah, they're super, super flavorful. But I prefer dark meat over the lighter meat.
Isn't that funny? Because we had this conversation last night. I called you and I was like, is there a way to put a breast in there? And she's like, when you cook it yourself, you can put a breast in there.
You can.
So
sure, you
what
can
do we
use
do
breast
first?
Thighs. So what I did already is I browned the chicken.
Okay.
So I browned on both sides,
sake.
Just a little bit of salt and pepper, browned on both sides, and just put aside. Everything at the end is going to go back in there. And now what I'm going to do is we're going to, we've cut a garlic bulb in half crosswise, and we're going to brown that ever so slightly. And then we're going to put in our
Fennel.
Fennel, thank you.
So I have one quick question, just so for people.
Mm-hmm.
Does it matter what kind of pan they use?
I prefer using a skillet that's going to brown things.
Okay.
I have a ceramic pan, and I feel like the regular skillet, like a crusade or any kind of, even just a traditional black skillet. Same.
Yeah.
Just as long as it's deep enough, because we're going to add some liquid at the end.
So you put a little olive oil and salt and
Olive
pepper
oil,
all the thighs.
avocado oil, either one.
Coconut oil even probably.
Coconut oil, yeah.
Okay, so you browned these. We can set these to the side. Now you're going to do the garlic. I'll give that to you.
Garlic. We're going to brown that up a little bit.
You literally just put it face first down into the pan.
Yeah, we put it face down in the pan. We've got that going. And for like 30 seconds. You don't need a whole lot. I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil. I would say medium heat, I would say. Low to medium heat on this.
Okay.
And just for 30 seconds.
A fun piece of information. Nancy and I would walk frequently together years past before her kids left her home and my kids started getting crazy into different sports during the day. And she became when did you become a vegetarian?
Well, I tried for... let's see. I think it was right before COVID.
Okay.
I was just looking to improve my health. I'd gone to a doctor who was more of a Mediterranean plant-based diet, and I thought, I'm going to try this. And so I did, for 3 years, I did a plant-based diet.
And she was always the one that helped me because she was just a few years ahead of me. So even when perimenopause started, I called Nancy. So she had already gone to so many functional medicine people, just trying to make sure her diet aligned with whatever supplements she was getting. And so she's been a huge source of information for me. And she said she had become a vegetarian. And so when I called her, and let me back up, she also started her own blog of recipes that she would make. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous food. And I'd be like, can I come down and just eat a little bit? So when I was wanting to do these series, I called her up and I said, hey, can I get you to do some recipes? And she called with a recipe, this chicken recipe, and I was like, wait, chicken? And she said she had begun to incorporate chicken again.
Yeah, the more research I was doing about just women of a certain age, right? Let's just put it out there.
Women of a certain age.
Getting, just how important protein is for our diet. And I felt like I was probably not getting enough. And also the foods that I was eating, like soy and tofu, I was having trouble with digesting. Yeah. So
that's what I've noticed the most is my digestion has changed.
Yes. So
okay,
and that does. So we're adding the shallots.
How many
sliced shallots? I've got one small shallot. That's all really you need. I'm going to add the
how much is the
fennel seeds, a tablespoon of fennel seeds. And we're going to turn that down ever so slightly. And we really don't want the fennel to burn.
Okay, so let's
now there's a bunch of drippings in here from the chicken. So, in fact, that's probably good enough. I'm going to add this liquid.
Okay, what's that liquid?
So this is chicken broth. It's a cup of chicken broth. And I've got a half a cup of wine, white wine.
Just a white cooking wine?
Just a cooking wine.
Okay.
Well, that's actually just white wine. You can use anything. I actually have used a vinegar, like a wine vinegar, white wine vinegar. You can use sherry vinegar.
Okay.
You
I
can
love
use
it. You're creative.
dry sherry. Yeah.
So basically anything you have on hand in that.
It's going to give it flavor. The vinegar or the wine, it's kind of the acid for your dish and kind of balances everything and gives it quite a bit of flavor, and also will give it the moisture that it needs, especially the wine. And so we've got everything in there. We're going to keep the heat on medium. I'd say we can probably turn up this heat a little bit. And now we're going to add the chicken back in the pan. We're going to add our fennel pieces around the chicken and also the citrus around, everything kind of around the chicken.
And we preheated the oven to what?
We preheated the oven to 375.
Okay.
We'll put the lid on this once we have everything back in. We'll add our sprigs of, you know what we did forget is we're going to add a teaspoon, probably a teaspoon of the Calabrian peppers. If you're not used to hot, or if you like them hot, you can maybe do 2, but just to be on the safe side, we'll just do 1 teaspoon of those.
I don't mean to interrupt you. I apologize. What's nice about once you add all the broth, whether it's the wine or the chicken stock, it takes up from the bottom of the pan all of the drippings from the chicken.
Absolutely, I know. It'll give it so much flavor. So yeah, you'll notice all those kind of crusty drippings, but once you put the liquid in there, you can just dig all that up. So now we've got all of our liquid. We've got our broth. We've got our wine. We've got everything. Now we can put the chicken back in.
Okay.
And we've also sauteed, just lightly browned the garlic bulb, so that can go in there.
Does that go in even with the skins?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Now, the skins, it'll come right out of the skin when you're going to eat the, eat the dish, eat the chicken after. It'll come right off of there. It'll be, and kind of, when it roasts in there in the skins, it has such a nice,
flavor.
Kind of, yeah. It's different than when you're sauteing it, and it's soft, and you could scoop those little garlic pieces right out of there.
Heads out.
Yep. Yeah, and that's
All right.
Okay. So then we're going to arrange. Doesn't matter what order, but we'll put our fennel pieces.
Can we talk real quick about
the fennel bulb?
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know what fennel is, and I love fennel. Again, you use it in your soups. I use it in my soups. But when I initially went to the grocery store years ago to buy fennel that was in a recipe, I didn't even know what it looked like. So would you just show what it looks like, because it's a little surprising.
Fennel is it's got that licorice flavor when it's raw.
Black licorice.
Yeah, black licorice. But it's kind of in between like a celery and an onion, I feel like. Unless you want to, I don't really know how else to, but those of you that are not familiar with fennel, so this is what it looks like. It's got all these stalks and the fronds, but what I do is I cut those right off, because we don't cook with those, and then I'll cut the bottom of this. So then I cut this right in half. There is a core in there, but you can eat that, and if you cut it if you actually cut it, the 2 halves and a half and quarters now, and then you just cut like that. If you cut it with the core in there, it kind of keeps it together.
Oh, because it's like an onion. If you cut that core out, it falls all apart.
Exactly.
All right, so I put all the
that's probably enough. So for this dish, we probably need 1 fennel bulb.
Okay.
So
perfect.
that works out well. This is sliced up orange. Whatever kind of orange you have, the juiciest, nicest orange, the caramelized.
I know, I could like eat one of those right now.
Yeah, and then sliced lemon, 1 sliced lemon and 1 sliced orange. I like to actually cut these orange pieces in half, so they're just easier to put in the pan. And then these are small enough you can kind of leave those. So we just put all those around. And sometimes, I know when I first made this recipe, I didn't have enough liquid, and I thought, okay, it could be a little bit more. So you could even add a little bit more chicken broth in here if you like it to be a little more juicy. We've got enough wine, got a half a cup of wine. We'll add these olives.
How many olives?
That's a cup of olives. So these olives are, let's see, I forgot the name, Castelvetrano or something like Castelvetrano. So I think they're an Italian olive. But they're a very mild olive. I also mix them with Sicilian olives.
Okay.
These have a lot more flavor. There's a little bit of juice in there, which is great. But that's going to really balance the citrus.
Because I already ate like 4 of them before we started filming. So.
And then, I know. I do the same. And then this is just a couple of sprigs of rosemary and thyme. They're just going to give it that extra flavor. So we can just put these, just submerge them into the liquid.
So you don't even need to take it off the stalks?
Nope. You can just
Okay,
put them
can
right
I
in the
just
liquid.
say, this might be, in all seriousness, one of the prettiest dishes. So
it's even prettier when it's cooked.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we will put that in the oven with the top on.
Okay.
We'll cover it. We'll put it in the oven.
Ready? I can put it in.
And we will cook that for about 40 minutes.
Ooh, I might. Okay.
And I like to, after 40 minutes, I like to take the cover off and I like to broil it for 5 minutes just to get that extra browning on top.
Okay.
And there you have it.
Okay. So now that, are you still doing your blog? I would love for you to share with people where your blog was, because I can't even tell you how beautiful her recipes are for healthy, healthy appetizers, healthy dinners, salads.
Yeah. Well, when I first started the blog and I was doing a lot of, vegetarian / vegan, I don't like to use the word. I prefer to use plant-based because it just sounds a little more friendly than vegan.
Yeah.
But I was doing a lot of plant-based, so I was trying to get creative and I was eating a lot more variety of vegetables.
Okay.
And I would roast vegetables and I would put them on the salads.
Yeah.
And the key for me was making a dressing that had the garlic, a little bit of garlic. The key is in the dressing if you're going to make a salad. It really is. You can have the most voluptuous, this just beautiful, loaded salad, and if you don't have it, if you don't have a flavored dressing, it's just blah.
Yeah.
And then vice versa, you could have a very simple salad, but just with the right dressing, the right flavor, and it's basically either lemon juice or red wine vinegar, garlic, and olive oil, and you can add a little bit of mustard, Dijon mustard to that.
Yeah. Even honey.
Just
I've
real
seen a
honey,
variety.
maple syrup.
If people want to find the things you've done, I know you haven't posted for a while.
Yes, I'm trying to figure out where my blog is going at the moment.
I understand
Nancy's
your
Plants
pain.
and other things now.
Yeah, that's right, because it's called Nancy's Plants or Nancy Plants.
Nance Eats Plants.
Nancy's. I remember when you were trying to come up with a name, and you sent me all these options, and I'm like, I don't know.
Well, my daughter ultimately came up with it, and I loved it because it was very catchy.
Because Nance Eats Plants.
Yeah.
And they just type that in.
So it's NANCE EATS PLANTS. Now that could change.
Is that a website or is it Instagram?
No, it's just an Instagram site.
Okay.
I don't have the website. I never really got to that part. I felt like the cooking kind of took over. But there's still a lot of. I look back and sometimes I'm like, did I make all that?
You can do a little cookbook. So definitely check that out because I'm telling you, her food is beautiful and it is so good. You wouldn't know for those of us who eat meat, you wouldn't know that you're only eating plants. And so I love it because, you know, becoming a woman around that age, it's even more, well, it's always important to eat a lot of greens, but I think too, it becomes even more important.
Yeah.
I think my digestive system has changed. I don't do a lot of dairy. I mean, I used to eat cheese like it was going out of style, and now I can't eat a lot of cheese.
I have dabbled in cheese. Like for 3 years, I didn't eat any, and what I noticed was I stopped craving it. But and now I've gotten back into, like, for salads, a little feta or maybe a little blue cheese or some Parmesan or goat cheese. Ever so much, because I don't eat dairy either because it doesn't agree with me. So
there's where we're at. Well, we're going to see
ladies.
what this does in about 40 minutes, and thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I think it's time to take out. We went ahead and already browned it. We put it on broil for just about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just to brown.
3 to 5 minutes, depending on how high your pan is. But
so keep your eye on it.
Keep your eye on it.
All right, let me pull it out. I know your back is hurt, so let me pull it out. Oh, wow. That is gorgeous.
So our
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you serve how do you serve it? Do you serve it with rice? Do you serve it alone?
I will usually make rice with this. I think chicken goes so well with rice. I mean, you could put this over a pasta, but you can do a saffron rice or just you could do a brown rice, an herbed rice, a wild rice. Really, it goes with anything. And it's great. And then you have your salad and you've got your meal.
And we have our dinner for tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And thank you for joining us. And you definitely need to try this. If I could tell you what it smelled like, everything from the oranges and the lemons and the olives and the fennel, everything, it smells divine. So please give it a try and have a great day.